Hello, welcome to The Junction, the channel where we explore several aspects that affect our lives on a daily basis. Today, we are going to jump into the issue of stress. Each of us have been overwhelmed with the situation at one point or the other and felt stressed. I don't know which stress any of us has faced, and we would like to look deeper into those issues. Kindly leave a comment on any area of your life that has stressed you. Our email is always there also to be reached. Then we can explore it together. So we look at this issue in two ways. One, we look at it broadly and say that stress most of the time has some elements that are within our control. On a bigger picture, when we are not able to control these aspects of our life or these situations, then we get stressed. The solution is to look at the bigger problem and break it down into smaller steps, smaller versions of that problems. Then look at the smaller steps and see which and every one of them independently and what we can do at any one of those steps. And that way, maybe not be overwhelmed with the bigness of the solution. Let's start by looking at what are these things that can bring us stress. One, you could lose a, you could lose a job, so you're jobless. So joblessness is one of those situations that can give us stress. We could be stressed because of a relationship. We could be stressed because of finances. So to not list all of them in one session, we will go into each of these issues. We start with the first one. We go deeper, we dive deeper into it. We try to address it still generally because we don't know each individual's main areas. Like my situation of joblessness could be different from someone else's situation of joblessness. Why? Because one, we have different skills. We're looking for different jobs. We have different financial backing to wait as you look for the job. So our response or this discussion cannot uh, try to say that we have sorted by listening, we've sorted your issue. We are discussing broadly, but if you reach us, then we will be able to discuss this into particular aspects that affects you directly. So now we jump into joblessness. Now, joblessness, you've lost a job. You find most of the time, the first month after losing a job, you don't feel overwhelmed as much as you'll be overwhelmed if you've been jobless for a year. Why? Because one, when you leave a job, you could be having you could have leave of notice. Two, you could have savings that could run you a certain number of months. So let's look at this situation and say this, that what is it we can do during this jobless situation to try to make sure we don't get ourselves into very stressful situations or get into a very bad place. So the first thing we have to do is be proactive. Be proactive to mean that we have to accept that the situation that we are in of joblessness is within us to change. It is within us to change. So what is it that is stressful in joblessness? One is the fear of financial uh, problems. So which means that the first thing we have to do is budget. Immediately you are out of a job, immediately you are in your several months down the line, you still will need a budget. You will have to cut down on costs because You cannot increase income, you reduce costs and have a budget so that the budget justifies every expenditure that you get yourself into. Another thing we have to do to be in a good place is stay active. You see, active, let's say we go to the gym or any kind of activity. Gym you might have to pay, but if you are physically active in your life, be it exercises in the house, that will help you sleep better. They will help alleviate stress. And again, you health-wise, you will be getting yourself in a good place. Another thing we will say is skill improvement. During these times that you are jobless, you are free, so time is on your side. So the thing you can do is take on one, there are several courses on YouTube nowadays, and some of them are free. You can do courses, you can do certifications, or any kind of uh, skill improvement that you need to do. If it's athletes, their skill improvement is different. Now, you look at it like this. If you go online today, you will find several courses. The certifications might be paid for. Yeah, most of those courses will require that you certify. There are even courses from Harvard Business School that are on YouTube for free, that are online for free. Only the certificates and the exams will be charged. But sometimes what we need is the skill, because you might even use that skill in your own business. You might not necessarily go into another job hunt. So skill improvement is one of those things that as you do, you feel better. And you also know that tomorrow you've invested today in your skill that will make you more employable moving into the next day. Another thing to look at is volunteering. That you can volunteer. Okay, it will not change the financial aspect of it, but volunteering makes you feel better. And as you volunteer, if you volunteer in an area that is related to one, a job you want to partake in the future, a job you've been doing, or it is your profession, then the volunteering continues to sharpen your skills. And volunteering also brings you into the networks of where you expect to get your next job. Another thing that we is part of the things that you have to look at is networking. Networking is it looks basic skill because naturally we talk, we engage others, but we are talking about networking with your people of your same profession, networking with people of the kind of jobs you want to get yourself into. Why? Because by being in those circles, one, there's a chance of you hearing of the next job opportunity. Two, there is a possibility that as you continue to engage with them, even when jobless and maybe not volunteering anywhere else, that in itself will continue to make you know the industry trends. And industry trends are very important to keep at par with, for you to be able to know that tomorrow when the job comes, you are sharp, you are ready for it. Then we have to maintain a positive attitude. Just that situation might look very glim and that might want to take you down, but maintain a positive attitude. Be positive all the time. Be positive. Being positive makes you have the strength to go through bad situations. Another thing to mention is if you feel overwhelmed, seek help. It is important and it is not a shaming to seek help. Ask friends for help. Be out there and let people, some of your friends, your family members, those are the times to lean on them. It takes strength to actually seek help. Seek help. Today, that is all we will be able to cover. We hope it will be helpful to whoever is going through a stressful moment. Kindly leave a comment and like the channel, and we meet in the next session where we will either explore this much deeper or another aspect of stress, maybe on relationships in our lives, and see how we can go through it together.